Okay, I had to squeeze the Hyundai inside the garage because it's rainy, it's cold outside, and I don't have enough time to do this on another day. So we're going to do the sound deadening today. We're going to get inside the car. We're going to remove as much of the interior as we can. We're going to sound dampen the entire floor. We're going to do up to the wheel wells, and we're going to go ahead and do the trunk today. That'll probably be it for today, but you'll see a lot of short intermittent videos, and I'll try to keep a lot of pictures, and I don't really have room to do a time-lapse style video in here, so we're going to go ahead and just, check in as the project goes on and kind of show you what we got going on.
Yeah, I just want to be the greatest.
The plan today is to do some sound deadening. We're going to try to cover this entire floor here all the way to the back. I'm going to go ahead and remove these seats. I don't know if that center console is going to come out or not, so we will see about that. We're going to remove the rear. We're going to remove the rear seat back here, and then we'll also do the trunk. I'll try to get as much video as I can, and yeah, let's just get straight to it. I'm going to use this 80mm matte 66 underneath the carpet. Luckily, the factory has a nice thick pad underneath. I think they're going to work perfectly together. Got the interior all ripped out. I'm pretty much done with this driver's side. As you can see under here, we're pretty well covered up. Let's see if I could get this up with one hand. Alright, there we go. So now we've got to do this other side over here, and then we've got to do some of these areas right here, and then the panels themselves. We've got pretty much the entire floor deadened. I'd say we got about 85% coverage over the complete floor, and it took about 24 square feet minus one sheet and one little bitty piece. Now I think it's time to run some wires while we got this all apart, and then we'll try to button it up, at least for the sound deadening part. If you've got your vehicle taken apart like this, you're doing this sound deadening, this is really the perfect time to run all your wires, your power wire, your signal RCAs, your speaker wires, whatever it may be. Go ahead and take care of that now while you've got everything out. Makes your life so much easier. We're on to the rear deck and the trunk area. This does have a factory 8-inch sublocation. I'm going to go ahead and take that plug out so that I can use it in the future. Even though I got the critical mass, I want to try both and see which one my wife likes better. Alright, the trunk is done. We've got pretty much the whole thing covered up. Got some different type on the wheel wells because I run out of the Killmat, so we use the sound skins. I've went ahead and did this area here and up as much as I could inside the trunk liner. And before we finish up, I'm going to take all these panels like this, and I'm going to put some more sound skins in there. This is the kind with the layer butyl and the close-cell foam to help with the panel rattle. So I'm going to try to touch every piece of plastic in here to do some sound deadening and install our speakers. I got the factory door panel off, and this is exactly how it came. There is absolutely no deadening whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and cover this as much as we can. But let me show you the door itself. Okay, here's the factory door panel. As you can see, it's got one big plastic insert. We'll get as much of this as we can sound deaden. This is the factory speaker here. I'm going to have to copy this shape to make an adapter for my speaker to fit in, and then we can do all the rest of the sides. Alright, I've got the speaker mounted in here. I've got my fast ring on. It may need to be trimmed. I've got a gasket behind here, deadened on the inside of the door, and I've got as much of this plastic insert deadened as I can. We pretty much got this panel wrapped up. I've got all the major spots where we would get noise. I went ahead and cut off that ring right here so it doesn't affect my speaker. I've got the fast ring to go up against this, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and then we should be able to go on to the rear doors and the dash speakers. Okay, so onto the rear driver's side door. We went a lot lighter with the sound dampening material. This is just going to be rear fill, so I'm trying to save the bulk that's left over for the front doors. Okay, we got the rear fill in, the Rockford Fosgate primes. I've got the fast rings on there, and I don't have any deadening here. It's just rear fill, so I do have some on the inner skin. Last but certainly not least is the mid-range and tweeter. I did use a 5 kHz 18 dB passive crossover in line. We will have 2 channels for these drivers, one for the left, one for the right. I went ahead and shrink wrapped the crossover to protect it, and everything's pretty much buttoned up, ready to go, although I did have to cut some more plastic to make sure the driver didn't actually touch like I did in the door speakers. We've got the sound deadening all wrapped up. I went ahead and put the speakers in. I've got the rear fill in, the mid bass, the mid range, and the tweeter in. While I was doing all the sound deadening, I mean, it only makes sense to do it at that time. And I also ran all the wires while I was doing the sound deadening, because this is the best time. If you're going to have the seats out, you're going to have everything torn out, might as well run your wires while everything is out of your way. Makes your life so much easier. Overall, with the sound deadening materials, I used 3 different types. I ordered some Sonic Barrier, and it had the closed cell foam and butyl rubber, and I mainly use that on parts and panels that would rattle vibrating against, metal or some other plastic. And then I also used Mat 66 and some Killmat. The Mat 66 was 80 mil, the Killmat was 50 mil. And I basically wanted to use, 2 different types and just kind of test them out and see what I liked about each and what I didn't like. And I will tell you that the Mat 66, yes, it's 80 mil, so obviously it's going to be a little bit thicker, a little bit better for the vibrations. But it also had a very, very light asphalt smell as compared to the Killmat, which was a very, very strong asphalt smell comparatively. But as far as the adhesive, they all stuck very well. I would say out of the 3, the Sonic Barrier stuck the best, and the Mat 66 and the Killmat were pretty much equal. They have really, really good adhesion, so no worries about that. As far as some of the sound skins I use, that's just some that I had left over, so I'm trying to pretty much piece together everything I had. What's up next is the install of the amps. The Rockford T400.4 will be for the front stage for the mid bass, the mid range, and the tweet. And then the Rockford Fosgate Punch 40.2 will be for the rear fill, and then of course the 225.2 will be for the sub. So we're going to get all that put in, and that should be in a couple weeks. We may skip a week of having this. I may put a video in the meantime because I need a little bit of extra time to button all that up. Once all that's done, we'll probably get a baseline recording and see what it sounds like with no tuning whatsoever, everything flat, and maybe some levels adjusted or something like that, and we'll see what it sounds like. And then, in a future video, we'll do a tuning, or I'll do a tuning to the best of my ability, and we'll get my buddy to get in there and tune it and see what kind of magic he can work. All that's coming up. I hope you guys enjoying the series so far. And I appreciate you watching, liking, comment, subscribing, all that type of stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video. A quick shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but I want to give a special shout out to the $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The Third Era, Gene Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Byron Chambliss, The Cardio Guy, Jason Zemer, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, William Inabit, and Boxboy Audio Solutions. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get exclusive Patreon-only content not available on YouTube. So if you want to help me out and join these fine folks, check me out at patreon.com/HiFiVega.
Oh, 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 oh.
Got him! Got him!